Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Wednesday, and that usually does mean merchandise reviews, books, movies, etc., and so on. But since we had an unexpected celebration of the Phantom yesterday, we are going to review Attack of the Crab Monsters today, which is a movie I saw at a young age and quite enjoyed then and still enjoyed this time. I do wish the DVD had been a better copy, but I'm really not about to go pay $100 to get the Blu-ray that Shout released, I don't know, a while ago. And the copies on the Internet Archive weren't any better. So apologies for for what the content looks like here, but it's the best I could come up with. You can watch the trailer because it actually looks better. So, having said all that, please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about crab monsters. Let me know what you think about crab people. And, if you could, just watch a little longer than usual. I don't think this will be too long, but I said that yesterday and it turned out longer than I thought it would. It turned out to be 20 minutes. But, are you ready? Let's take a deep dive into Attack of the Crab Monsters. We start out with the title, and it is I think it's still an Allied Artists. It doesn't really say here, but it is an AIP movie. It was one of Corman's most successful movies at that time. Attack of the Crab Monsters was released on February 10th, 1957. It runs a scant 62 minutes and is never boring because it doesn't have time. I really liked it. I still do. Produced and directed by Roger Corman. I like the title credits, and then it gives you a bit of a rundown of what is about to happen. And you can see it here. So the second scientific, without a trace. Oops. Rumors, dun dun dun. So there's the Earth, atomic explosions, all sorts of things. Now we've seen all of them. See, this is what I mean by it's just not a great print, and it came from a DVD, which looked great at the time, but times have changed. I don't remember who put it out on DVD back then, and I don't even know if it was legitimate. But there's our new party there. We've got Richard Garland as Dale Drewer, Pamela Duncan as Martha Hunter, Russell Johnson as Hank Chapman, Leslie Bradley as Dr. Carl Wiegand, Mel Wells, responsible for, among other things, Spectre Man as Dr. Carl Wiegand, as Dr. Jules Devereaux, Ed Nelson as Quinlan, Charles B. Griffin, Beach Dickerson. It's a standard. Most of them are the standard Roger Corman's AIP staff. There they are discussing what could have happened, and they don't hear any animal life, and I think that's a storm, but I see. Oh, wait, it's not, because one of the crewmen falls over and turns into crab bait. They take his head off right there. There's our hero, Richard Garland, as Dale Drewer. And he was in tons of things. Constable Clay Horton and Lassie from 54 to 56. He was married to Beverly Garland, who, of course, was in It Conquered the World, which I realize I need to redo, which I'm happy about because I love that movie too. There's our comedy relief seamen, Charles B. Griffin as Tate and Maitland Stewart as Mac, I believe. And you know what's going to happen to them. But they're the comedy relief. There's our other heroes. And there is the professor. Wait, that's not the professor. There's Pamela Duncan. And they're going to come back in a month to get them, which they better hope that happens. So I think that's the professor there. But they go into the jungle, and I believe this was filmed all around Southern California, yes. Well, yes, I can tell you that. And, of course, the cast and crew probably thought the thing was completely ridiculous overall, but they professionals, and they they treated it well. And it was written by Charles B. Griffith, who was also in the movie, uncredited. Seaman Tate. So Beach Dickerson might have been Seaman Ron Fellows, who also they all operated the crabs and moved them around. There goes the plane. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. And there's the professor at the radio. I really wish I should have queued up the Gilligan's Island theme song, because it's always at the radio, just working it away. And now they're sitting around smoking and jibber jabbering and wondering what happened to the crew, and arguing. And there's a lot of day for night, but they go underwater. Well, I believe that Martha goes underwater there, and we see stingrays or manta rays, which won't hurt you. And then Dale comes down to help her out, take some pictures. I think they've been together, so it's not like his attentions are unwanted. Now, when I saw this late at night on probably Channel 7 or Channel 4, Channel 2 did not show late night movies. They went off the air probably after about 1:30 in the morning. So I remember getting up to see it. There's a crab, hint of foreshadowing. There's the professor. And I can't call him anything but the professor, as we all do. But now Martha's hearing a voice. And somebody's going down there to look around. It's just earth, water, and a few land crabs. I don't know which one that is. Sorry, I couldn't keep track. Down he goes. She faints, and he's more land crabs. So watching this in the middle of the night on a television, even if it was probably 8 or 9, between 9 and 10. It's a good time to see a movie. I didn't realize it was so short at the time, because commercials, I'm sure it was in a 90-minute time frame. Commercials always help diffuse tension. These two hear somebody calling for them, and then the crab attacks, and they think the gun's going to help. Down they go in there while these two are alone. Then you see the hole it tore in there. Now they're discussing, what could it be? She has no idea. Nobody does. The photography is quite evocative. The cinematography was by Floyd Crosby, probably no relation. He won the Academy Award for Best Cinematography in 1931 in Taboo, A Story of the South Seas. And then he went on to shoot 120 productions. Holy crap. So no wonder this. I mean, there's some evocative shots here. You can't really tell, but they find him. And here's our two comedic morsels. I believe that's Mel Wells himself there. More smoking. He gets that's a crab claw. And now so they've all heard this voice. And the professor needs to put a shirt on. He didn't get to do that on Gilligan's Island. And there they are. So the movie just moves along. You hear, every time the crabs are around, you hear a crackly sound, like Rice Krispies, except for grosser, because eventually Rice Krispies get soggy and quit crackling. When I had this reviewed in, I want to say, issue 6 of Xenorama, way back in the 90s. And the reviewer, Ed, had said that seeing this as a young child made him never want to eat Rice Krispies again because of that sound. I miss Ed. All right. So they're having dinner, and they're still talking, and finally they hear the voices. There we see our first shot of the crab. Again, apologies, but we do get some better ones later on, brighter lit. They're in the cavern still. They accidentally kill one because they drop the guns can't shoot it they can't shoot it with their guns because the bullets pass through. But if you drop a stalactite, one of the two, the upper one, the stalactite, into their brain, it kills them. But there's 2. Well, they don't know that yet. So they take the claw with them. Then the second one shows up. More fighting. They get away and they do some analytics. And they realize that it's very porous. It can't be shot. It can't be killed that way, but it might react to electricity. And there's some blurry pictures of it when it's got its human face. I used to think the human face looked ridiculous. This is what happens. They zap the claw and it disintegrates. So now we know what to do. They build a zapper. He's going down to help it out. She's there. There it is. It attacks. Uh-oh. They don't. She doesn't know she's underwater. She gets away. There. Okay, so now it's climbing out in the sunlight. I don't think it's a bad prop at all. It's not remotely looking like a crab, maybe a spider crab, but it has the big old, like almost human eyes. So the crabs have absorbed the human's brains and can talk and you know know it's they know and how people react. So they can speak telepathically. The telepathic voice of the crab was David Arvidon as Hular, the giant crab. I never knew the crabs had a name. That's a better shot there. I think they operated it really well. They put anybody that wasn't doing anything else underneath the crab suit to make it move. There they go. The professor shoots at it, blows up the place. And there's still 4 left. The professor's smoking. He didn't get to do that on Gilligan's Island. And now they talk. That would be probably Dr. Leslie Bradley as Dr. Carl Weigler. And he kind of does this little trying to see what if Martha and Dale are a couple, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, oh, okay. I mean, they don't have time to get into a love triangle here, a la The Creature from the Black Lagoon. And they're in Bronson Canyon, so definitely Southern California. Meanwhile, the crabs are making the island shrink by using the depth charges and all the dynamite they've stolen. Smart. They're very smart crabs, and they're going to take over. They're going to try to take over the world. But before they do that, we'll have some station identification. You are watching Xenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters on KXNO, part of the Xenorama Broadcasting Network. We now return you to our regularly scheduled program.
Stop action both on and off the track with Speed Racer. Watch him weekdays at 3:30 on WSNS TV 44 Chicago.
As far as I know, Speed Racer never aired in Fossil Bed. So he's setting it up, but he zaps himself. Down he goes. Guess who comes to eat him? It's not a crab person, it's a crab monster. But you ever wonder why crab people could talk like humans? I'm quite sure, I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that Matt and Trey of South Park fame did see this movie because they're big nerds and they would have liked it. They try to set it on fire, but that just doesn't work.
Crab people, taste like crab, talk like people, crab people.
When you are 9 years old and watching this in the middle of the night with your brother, there you go, Eric. I wonder if you remember this. It's the sense of dread this movie actually conjures up is quite palpable. Now, it's not so much when you're older and but even with commercials, we were worried about these people. The professor there, we didn't know this was actually the professor, though Gilligan's Island was ubiquitous no matter where you went in the country. Some channel was showing reruns of Gilligan's Island. I have the first season of Gilligan, and we'll probably review that. But a little Gilligan goes a long, long way, I'll tell you what. Anyway, they're formatting ideas. The islands are still sinking. She keeps pointing it out. There's an electrical tower which was providing, energy to the. I don't know where they were getting the energy from, but to there. So off they go. They're going to figure it out. They figured it out. They lure the crab out, and it works because he or she comes. One of them's a female, even though they have, they don't know any difference. They just eat the people. Tries to grab Martha, but they get away. They throw some bombs at it. Unfortunately, the professor is injured, but he decides to jump up there. I mean, it really kind of reminds me of the face from the Black Scorpion, the model, too, the mock-up there. Would not surprise me if that had done double duty from one or the other because, same year. So probably not, but sure looks like it, doesn't it? I don't know why they put eyeballs on those things. The professor drops himself and the antenna onto the crab, electrifying it, killing him and the crab, sacrificing himself for the good of humanity. And that's where the movie ends. There's this little atoll of land with no shrubbery, no nothing, no shelter. Are they going to survive until that plane comes back? We don't know. This has happened a lot in these movies. It just ends. This was shown on a double bill with Corman's Not of This Earth, which I have seen once. I've never seen the remake. And I'm going to have to see if I can find that. Hopefully it'll be, well, because I remember enjoying it the first time. I do want to recommend this book that Russell Johnson wrote with Steve Cox, the Here on Gilligan's Isle, which just is a lot of fun. I mean, and it was written while he was still alive, and it has probably the complete episode, probably the first complete episode guide, but he is just comes across as a very good man. I really enjoyed reading this, and I will be reviewing it at some point on Merchandise Wednesday. But I wanted to get that out there. And tomorrow we will be reviewing this next batch of Ultraman Mebius episodes, 5 through 8, which is fun. They're good episodes. They have some comedy. They're getting a balance here. But until our next assignment, my fellow agents, this is X7 signing off and phasing out. And please keep in mind that the sun never sets on those who ride into it. If you're wondering where I got that catchphrase from, it came out of Shock Treatment, a movie I really like more and more, and wish that Arrow had released the Blu-ray over here as well. From what I saw, it's only available in the UK. But that's where that came from. And I'll be seeing you.
Alloy wheels, chrome details, custom paint, premium stereo. The Mystery Machine has room for 5, and the power and handling you expect from a quality driving machine. What the? Oh! Speed Racer on Cartoon Network.
Dogs should not drive.